Hi, everyone. My name's Leon. I'm from Bueno and really excited to be presenting to you guys at the NASRC Sustainable Refrigeration Summit today. I'm the CEO and founder of Bueno, and I've got Charles here as well from a customer success manager from Bueno. And we're really excited to be talking to you guys from down under. I'm from Melbourne, Charles from Sydney. One thing that really, I think, unites us behind this summit is that our purpose as a business is to realize the dream of a sustainable world through data. And we think that is really well aligned with the NASRC mission. Why we think this is an important purpose is obviously people would be aware of these kind of key metrics that the property industry is responsible for 40%, give or take, of the world's emissions, but also paradoxically, it is the worst adopter of technology, and the industry is a laggard in terms of technology adoption and utilization of data. So, we think with opportunities of just via better utilization of our technology and existing equipment and existing assets, that there's the opportunity for 10 to 30% emissions reductions. We're really excited about kind of moving towards solving our purpose. So what are we all about? We are about utilizing operational technology data to improve operational and sustainable outcomes for the property industry. And that includes refrigeration, FMCG, etc. Fundamentally, the existing operational models of the property industry are either preventative or reactive. And what that means is you're either waiting for things to break before you do anything, or you're using a calendar as the brains of your property operations. That's by weekly checks, monthly checks, daily checks of plant and equipment. What we're about is taking that model and evolving it to be data-driven. I'll let the data tell us what the equipment needs so that we can optimize the operation of that equipment, and we can also find faults and address them in a timely manner. So the reasons why people should be interested in this is, like I was saying, there's an incredible sustainability benefit from better utilizing data. At the same time, there are immense resourcing pressures in the talent pool in the property industry. And third, you save a lot of money and deliver a much healthier business outcomes. We're a company out of Australia. We've got a global footprint. We're connected to many different systems and many different sites across 11 different countries. We've got a number of great logos of different customers. Some may not resonate with the North American market, but there's definitely some there that you guys will all know and love. Our solution in a nutshell, as I was saying, operational technology data in, third-party data in, and then insights out. And those insights can be focused on energy outcomes, on maintenance outcomes, on reporting, benchmarking, focusing on minimizing refrigerant leaks, whatever the insights are that are relevant to our customers' goals and their strategy, their sustainability strategy, their operational strategy. We feed the relevant insights to the relevant stakeholders in those businesses. And we're here to talk to you about a specific use case, and that is Woolworths, or as we call them down here, Woolies, who are the largest food retailer in Australia. Our solution that we have implemented in partnership with Woolworths is giving them $8 million a year of direct energy savings and $17 million of indirect savings through maintenance benefits, reduced refrigerant use, better utilization of capital expenditure, etc. We've been working with Woolworths over the last 5 years to take a data-driven approach to managing their commercial refrigeration. This is a big deal for us between us and Woolies now, but it has been a journey that we've gone on together. Over those 5 years, we've solving many different operational issues, many different iterations of the right solution to solve their help achieve their strategic goals. But where we sit right now is one of the key pillars behind them achieving their sustainability targets, which you can see some examples of down the bottom right of this slide. One of the reasons why Woolies is such a great customer is they are very committed to sustainability outcomes. And I've taken a screenshot of their sustainability strategy where they have publicly committed to some pretty ambitious goals. So they're a great customer to work with. Our solution powers their energy management center. These are the kind of key stakeholders that are using our solution to review insights, triage insights, and get these out into the hands of people who can do the most good with them, e.g. technicians, store managers, etc. It's a big solution. It didn't start out big. As I was saying, we went on a journey together. We're connected across 1,000. This is just their grocery sites, 1,000 of the grocery sites to 4,000 refrigeration and field controllers. And there's 1.2 million instrumented data points that we are bringing into our solution, which we then extract insights out of the data that we're ingesting. And this is how it really works. We take all of these different data sources, we use that to empower and supercharge the benefit their business can get out of their specialized resources. Our technology enables them to supercharge centralized, specialized teams to productive operational outcomes across their portfolio. So each asset, we connect to multiple different data sources across HVAC and other data sources as well, at different sites. We connect to chicken cookers, bakery ovens, etc. Energy data. We collect this, centralize it and structure it, and then use algorithms to generate our insights. This then allows their subject matter experts to get great and really powerful operational outcomes across their portfolios. And lastly, before I move on to Charles to talk about some specific use cases, we spent a lot of time talking about technology, but really the technology is just the tool, and it's the tool to enable the people in the teams to get better outcomes. So we can't ignore the fact that all we're doing is enabling this great group of people to deliver better outcomes for Woolworths. Thank you. So handing over to Charles now to talk about some specific use cases that we've been able to deliver on for Woolworths.
Thanks for that introduction, Leon. My name is Charles Kitson. As Leon said, I'm Customer Success Manager with Bueno. My entire job is basically to help our customers use our platform to the best of its ability. So today I'll be talking you through some of the specific problems that we have solved for grocery clients using data or analytics. First, I just want to explain the data platform concept in broad strokes. Then I'll discuss a particular problem that one of our clients solved using the data that we manage for them. And then I'll briefly discuss a couple of examples of automated analytics that we run to generate insights for our client using their own operational technology data. So we believe that the power of an independent data layer for grocery store operational technology is significant. So most retailers have large teams of highly skilled data professionals. These teams generate huge amounts of value using financial, customer, and product data. The missing piece for us is the data around the physical environment. But what if you could start adding the comfort conditions in the store to your metrics? Does a comfortable client stay in store longer, spending more money? Or imagine if you could have maintenance, energy, and sales data available. You could effectively start looking at, how much money a store earns versus how much money you spend on maintaining the equipment at that store versus how much refrigerant it uses. These are the kind of questions we can answer using data when we remove that operational data from its silo. We also try to make this data more useful to you by applying meaning to it through relational modeling and semantic tagging, so that you actually know what every data point represents in your physical store. We also then historize the data coming from these devices, and we try and store and treat it in such a way to make it very easy for you to use that data. So if we can talk about one of the specific use cases here, one of our clients needed a way to decrease the reporting burden for case temperature control. So if you have a large fleet of supermarkets, you would have thousands of these cases, and it's quite burdensome managing them. So what we effectively did was set up a data pipeline for our client to access all of that histories for that case temperature control. And we then use this data to create a report in Data Studio. But this data could easily be accessed by Tableau or Power BI or SAP or any flavor of data analysis tool. This then allowed their centralized team to monitor case performance across a high number of stores and prioritize the stores for maintenance scheduling. So this let the client do a more targeted maintenance, giving technicians a list of problems rather than just a calendar-based schedule. Effectively, if you had 100 stores to visit, you could use this to target which store was the most important one to visit, because it would be the one with the worst performing cases. And so another use case was to find the worst performing case. So, every year they get new money allocated to their capital expenditure budgets. And some of this gets used for recommissioning or replacing faulty equipment. So if they have the ability to find the worst performing cases in the store, they immediately know how to spend that CapEx most efficiently. I believe that copy of this presentation is available to the viewers. I encourage you to click on the highlighted link that's highlighted in blue on my screen. That'll actually take you to an interactive version of this report, and you can actually go and click through it and expand it and see the examples of the cases that perform really badly. And it gives you a real feel for how this actually works in practice. I'm not sure how many of the viewers work directly with data from store, but quite often the energy management system and the control systems are accessed through separate platforms. Now, the power of the independent data layer is that we can get your refrig, HVAC, lighting, and energy data into a single platform. This includes data from third parties, whether this, that we can ingest via a number of different means. We then provide this to you as high fidelity data with infinite historization. So one of the things that our clients have immediately found really powerful is the ability to compare what a store is doing now to what, for example, it did 3 years ago when it was first built and commissioned 100% correctly. So you can, look at what a compressor rack is doing at the moment versus what it did 3 years ago. So you can actually see that degradation and do proper baseline. So the example in my screenshot illustrates this quite well. So it's just something that I prepared really quickly. I just went and put the low temp racks from a couple of stores together on the same view, together with their energy profile. And what this would effectively allow you to do is just to compare a store to its peers. So quite often you're looking at, you see a store that's performing poorly, you're not sure why it's performing poorly, but as soon as you start actually comparing it to stores that are performing well, those differences become self-evident. Next, I'd like to talk about some of the specific analytics that are generated using this data. So one of Woolworth's main sustainability targets that Leon mentioned before was the reduction of refrigerant use. So the first weapon in their arsenal is refrigerant leak detection systems. However, over the course of years since they spun up their centralized team, they've discovered that one of their big problems is that these systems tend to go offline, or they have their alarm set points adjusted to silence alarms. While these changes are often well-intentioned by technicians in the field, to stop nuisance alarming and the like, they actually result in minor refrigerant leaks going unchecked. So what we did was we developed an analytic for Woolworths that would notify them of two things. One, when a system went offline, and secondly, when a set point was adjusted. This allowed them to proactively maintain these systems and strengthen their first line of defense. So my screenshot pretty clearly illustrates this, where we can see one alarm set point in a store that's elevated, meaning that there was probably a slow leak in that zone, and a technician actually went and adjusted the set point to stop that alarm from happening. So the moment they go back and they readjust that set point to where it should be, they'll probably get an alarm, which store will find a little bit annoying, but it will actually allow someone to go out and fix that refrigerant leak. As the next step, we tried to identify leaks where no leak detection was installed, or the leak location negated detection because it was leaking somewhere in back of house, maybe where there wasn't a sensor nearby. So essentially, it's analytics that provide an early notification of a potential refrigerant leak. This is a predictive analytic. It uses the data from existing sensors to detect deterioration in equipment operation and predict a refrigerant leak. So in the last year, more than 500 service calls were made based on the output from this analytic. In that time, there was a 65% self-reported accuracy level. So this could potentially be higher where someone was unable to locate a leak, or simply didn't look hard enough. And so in the last financial year, savings and avoided costs for this single analytic were calculated to be in excess of $1 million, and that is purely through saved refrigerant. So we can see that has been quite effective at helping them reach their sustainability targets. Last one that I want to talk about, I think, will be near and dear to the heart of many viewers here. It is early detection of iced up cases, especially low temp cases. Now, across most of our grocery customers, this has been identified as a significant problem that costs them a lot of money every year. So what we effectively created for our clients is an analytic that predicts these evaporator ice up events before they come severe enough to actually impact stock quality. So, unfortunately with these things, sometimes the same symptoms can be caused by more than one root cause. So while the majority of the time this accurately predicts a case ice up, sometimes it could be a blocked expansion valve, or it could be a failed fan. Even when it's not an ice up, early notification still allows them to avoid a out-of-hours service call. Acting on these things timeously just reduces that chance of stock loss. So you can see that pretty clearly in the screenshot that I've got up, where you can see that the rule hit occurred well before the case actually went into alarm. So those alarm thresholds are usually set quite high. So we gave them early notification. And you can see there was a point where the data went down. That's because someone actually turned off the controller to do a remote reset and run a longer period defrost. And then you can see how the case temperature just returns back to normal afterwards. And we've effectively avoided a service call in this instance. So those were just a few examples of how we actually do these things in real life. And I just want to thank everyone for their time, and I hope you enjoyed it.